think we're in pretty good shape. Got some food out. Everything looks like it's in the line. All right. Well, let me start out first of all with thanking a couple folks here for their donations to help us out here. And that's Russ and Marianne Odette. They're from Elk Rapids, Michigan, which is not too far away from us here in northern Michigan. And then another Michigan person here, Older Gent. Those of you who are in our chat room at snowmancam.com, you definitely know Older Gent. And him and his wife have agreed to help us out on a monthly basis, so we certainly appreciate that. And also, Older Gent passed on some information that his wife is having some medical issues, pretty serious too. So we're going to add both of them to our prayer list, and we're hoping those of you of faith out there that you would be willing to do that too. We appreciate it. Okay, I guess I'll start out with the frustrating news. First of all, I'll begin by saying, those of you who have known me for a long time, and those of you friends and family who know me all my life, know that I'm very pro-law enforcement, always have been. In fact, my family members couldn't believe that I did not go into law enforcement. I've always supported them. In my career now as a county commissioner, I have supported law enforcement completely. I know the tough job they have, sometimes a thankless job, and sometimes, frankly, a very dangerous job. So I certainly couldn't appreciate a group of folks more than law enforcement. That being said, I'm having an issue right now actually with law enforcement from the Department of Natural Resources. And I'm sure those of you who've known me for a long time right now are going, oh, great, now what? Because you were with me through this the first time 9 years ago. And at that time they decided they were going to prosecute me for, at that time we were feeding birds. And they didn't like that idea because deer were coming in and eating. So from that, ultimately, after a very long court battle, the courts found in our favor. The state attorney general got involved and dropped all the charges against me, apologized, and then the state legislature took action and changed the law so people could feed birds without fear of prosecution. And that's been going along just great for 9 years. And there's a lot of other details that I'm not necessarily going to share at this point, but they may have to come out again. But the DNR has decided that I've been putting too much food out. I should say some at the DNR. By no means is this a broad brush. I still support the DNR. I'm an advocate of it. I think the current director is doing a phenomenal job, and there's a lot of great people there. Good hearts. Definitely have the welfare of wildlife and our natural resources. But there are some that have an agenda, and I don't know why. So anyway, so they told me that they're going to decide tomorrow. They sought prosecution. They tried to go to my particular county here, but there's a conflict of interest because I'm chairman of the board of our county. And so they were looking at taking it to another county. And they said they're gonna make that final decision tomorrow. And I could have waited. Maybe this would have gone away. But frankly, I'm really tired of this. I thought we were done with this. For 9 solid years, I've been doing exactly this after the law has been changed. And for some reason, it's not the fact that we're feeding. They just felt that we were putting too much out. So anyway, what we're going to do until this gets settled, because you know me, you know our love for the wildlife here, I'm not going to take this laying down. If they do decide to prosecute, we will go full bore back into this again, and it probably will get ugly again. And a lot of people start taking sides, and really nothing good comes out of it, unfortunately. But so in the meantime, what we're going to do, we're still going to put the same amount of food out every day, although if you've noticed we've been backing down somewhat because we just needed to get them through the worst part. We saved a lot of deer from starving this year, and I think a lot of you saw that. But so this time of the year, the grass is starting to green up. They don't need as much help, so we were going to back down anyways. But what they want to see is no more than 2 gallons put out at a time. As soon as that's gone, we can put another 2 gallons out. So in essence, we can still put the same amount out, but the problem is we're going to have to come out here probably 10 or 15 times a day to do it. And it depends on the wildlife. If they're not coming in and eating it, well then obviously we won't be back to put it out. but it's going to cause some great inconvenience for Brenda and I, for Danny, who's been a great help, for Todd. It's going to be frustrating. So I just want to let people know the feeding will go on, and we're going to try and comply. It's really funny right now. There's a chipmunk that is.
He's like, what?
He's just kind of sticking his head out, looking at us. What do you mean? What do you mean less food? It's really kind of cute. I wish you could see it, but he's just watching us with a look on his face. So, anyways, I just wanted to share that with you. I'm hoping that cooler heads prevail tomorrow, and they decide that, you know what, it might be better to work with this guy. Because they even admitted, they said, you know, we've talked to law enforcement in the area. We know you're well respected. We just don't understand why we have a problem with you. So, and I don't understand it either. So, especially when we're both trying to do the same thing here. We're concerned about the welfare. Brenda and I attended last night an hour-and-a-half meeting with the DNR that they put on a presentation about the health issues in deer around the state. Thankfully, we have no health issues with our deer around here. We have a very strong, very healthy herd. But there are other places in Wisconsin, Illinois, out west, and then a few spots in lower Michigan that have had some issues with illness. We haven't. And I'm not saying it's because of us. I'm just saying, you know, we've got a great habitat for them. And I do like to think that in a small way, the hundreds of people in northern Michigan that have been feeding have contributed to keeping our deer herd strong. So that's probably all I have to share with you on that. I'll keep you posted. Maybe tomorrow I'll have some good news. I've already talked with a couple state legislators, and they know to reestablish trust in this area. And we don't want to go backwards with that. Like I said, all in all, as long as we can work things out, reasons of the wildlife here. There are actually some folks within that group who are trying to put a ban on all feeding, birds, everything, absolutely no food being put out whatsoever. And we think that's just absolutely crazy. So, but again, you know, you got all kinds of folks out there with different ideas. But for the most part, cooler heads. You posted on that. And also, if you're new to the site and you don't know what I'm talking about with this DNR issue, there's a couple of ways you can go back and you can see from 9 years ago when I had to go to our state capitol and do some testifying, and eventually that led eventually to getting the law changed. You can find all those on our YouTube page. So if you haven't subscribed to that, it's absolutely free to do that. The easiest way to get there is just go to snowmancam.com, and at the top of the page there's a link for YouTube. And I think only about 5 or 6 will pop up, and then you have to click a button for videos, and then hundreds of them will pop up. And you've got to go back to like 2009, and you'll see the testimony both from their side, my side, and then there's also news articles and things too that I have on my website, snowmancam.com. There's a little link there that said stories about the bird feeding case. And I've got links to newspapers. A lot of those articles have expired because it's been so long, so some of those links are no longer valid, but most of them are. And you can kind of see the whole history of what I had to go through back then, and hopefully won't have to repeat that. So welcome to the new people that did join our YouTube page. Thank you for pushing us over that goal. We have 765 people in there. I was hoping to be to 750. So we just threw out another goal of 1,000, and I think if we get 1,000 by the end of the month, I'll quit pushing it. I guess it's just that 1,000 person magic number we're looking to fulfill. So if you like doing YouTube, feel free to subscribe to us. And thank you to the people that joined us on Facebook too. We've had a number of new people that have come in there, so welcome. I'm sure you're enjoying it, especially the fans group. There's a lot of great information in there, a lot of nice videos, cartoons, pictures, just a lot of great like-minded people that are very interested in nature, interested in wildlife, certainly interested in supporting it, and more importantly, interested in helping them stay fed. I don't think we're at a point anymore where we have to worry about starvation. That's the good news. That is the good news. But we'll continue to do some basic supplemental feeding too throughout the summer. And if nothing else, just to attract some in for viewing. The porcupines will be with us all summer. Well, I know the other bit of good news I wanted to share with you. I had some folks from Ohio contact me, and they were willing to donate 40 bushels of corn on the cob. And they said it's all dried, it'll last for a long time, and just wanted to make sure I had a way to deal with it. And it would come here in a hopper. which is what they loaded on at the farm, and then they would dump it. So I wish now we would have been saving bags. We get rid of dozens of bags every week, but Danny's got some, we've got some, I think they've got some. So I don't know, maybe we'll have a little party set up one day on a nice day. It's going to probably happen within the next few weeks, and get some folks here, and we'll bag this stuff up and get it all put away. And once it's like that and it's all dried, we can store it for a long, long time. And I know the porcupines would be happy knowing that they would have a steady diet of corn on the cob. I'm sure you can see the chipmunk. He's come out of the tube now, and he's enjoying some of the sunflower seeds that have fallen on the ground. So I guess it's not too bad. We had 2 or 3 good news and 1 frustrating news, which I've got full confidence that we will resolve it to most people's satisfaction. All right, anything else we want to share?
No.
We have 2 vehicles filled up with boxes. Like I mentioned before, we're moving back in this. We could be back in this house as soon as 2 weeks. And we've got a lot of stuff to move. So you're going to hear a little bit of activity, a little bit of kind of banging around. But I tell you, I lived in this house for many, many years. And the wildlife, after a while, they don't care, if we're here. So they'll still be coming in. So that's all I have. Let's get back to work before the rain is coming. We can feel it, and we're going to try and get unloaded before that. So hope wherever you're watching us at from around the world that you're warm, safe, dry, and comfortable. I guess I almost don't need to do the warm part anymore now that it is getting. I just hope that your climate is comfortable where you're at, and that you're in good health. And with your help, like the folks I mentioned here, myself, Danny, Todd, we'll all be here. You'll probably wind up seeing us a lot more, unfortunately. I'll probably still come out and do, the 1 o'clock thing like I do now. But other than that, you may just see one of us just come out and, throw out a couple of gallons of food if the ground has gotten bare. But yeah, we won't be doing the full-blown story unless we have more information to pass on to you. So also hope you're in good health wherever you are. So take care, everybody, and we will see you tomorrow.